Time largest customer brands love to propose they will do the purchaser sense happier. Swedish rainwear company Stutterheim warns how its coats may do the owner sense a bit dark blue. It is a partly Roman attitude to sail oneself, but in quick-growing world turnover, and celeb fans consisting singers Kanye Western and Jay-Z, it seems to be work quite so. Longing is an significant portion of creature a humane creature, and you really struggle says founding member Alexander Stutterheim. Or how is the similarity in the cloak, you should go out and hug the rainfall, delight he. It is told how inspire for a industry concept can go of everywhere, and in Mr. Stutterheim's instance it was stumble on his melancholy grandpa's old fishery overcoat. Suspended by a fingernail in a neglected household granary on the shore close Stockholm, Sweden's equity, the 1960s coat transportable Alexander direct behind to his infancy. He memorable his grandpa wrapper oneself up in the black, strong tire coat, in procedure to chief out fishery or shipping for the frequently dismal Scandinavian weather. And Alexander tenderly withdrawn a visible change in his grandpa's temper while he refundable. My grandpa was melancholy, but while he got behind of pursued his demons in his cloak we was really artistic, he says. He wrote poems and he recite novels to us, and he wrote theater acting. The rediscovery of the old overcoat happened in 2010 while Alexander, later 40, was work as a writer in the Swedish Equity. He says he had achieved a spot in his career while he was aspiration which he outlined as a more than limitless outlet opening for his own imaginative. And by overlap he necessary a new winter overcoat. So he set on design an enhanced release of his grandpa's coat, both of as a reverence and homage to his deceased family members' melancholy, but as well as an option to the climbing jackets how had submerged the Swedish marketplace. As a writer you are back to be a bit eccentric, and a bit artistic looking in yours outfits, but I looked more than love a golf player lose in city, or love I was departure to climb up a mount, he says. I requested to upgrade my grandpa's overcoat to be radiator, and to sense nice looking while departure out in the downpours. How was my mission statement? Or as well to construct a topic or a history to hug the rainfall. Alexander began by creation prototypes in his cuisine with plasticity tablecloths, and later found a little plant in West Sweden to brush to his at first party of coats. At first marketing to friends, during a year the mark had obtained such a next how he was capable to set up a little store in Stockholm. Quick striker to present, and the raincoats, sold out in the Stropline Swedish longing at its driest, are sold out about the planet via the company's website, of retailers in 29 countries, and at Stutterheim's own natural store in Stockholm and New York. The business's yearly circulation was kroon, $6 meter, pound, in 2016, and it is anticipated to position at 25% growth while 2017's results are published, led by the electronic commerce party of the industry. To me it is rather surrealistic, says Alexander, of the company's fast increase. Time the business is now as successful, he frankly admits how he initially struggled in the finance party of the industry. I didn't aware how to do a budgeting, or know how to cost things law, he says. It was a disaster for the at first 2 year, financially. I had to sell my flat, it was terrifying. Things rapidly superior in 2012 while Mikael Söderlind, the co-founder of else quick-growing Swedish mark, Lucky Socks, came on executive board. Alexander says, Mikael said me, you can remain there in yours keep and perhaps get a wages ultimately before you depart. Or we can hit the gas foot, construct a executive board, rental a CEO and do a industry schedule. I mind on it for one date, and later told, allows come. Time Mr. Söderlind became president, John Laster, unskilled marketing specialist, became the company's head execution. Meantime, Alexander took up the stance of artistic CEO. As portion of Alexander's part he has concentrated on increase overseas electronic commerce turnover by promotion the mark on Facebook and Instagram. In making so, he allocated its feeling of longing. It is the contrary of companies who tell, buy our material, and a lucky-go-lucky way of life will occur to thou, he says. Emma Lindblad, a lecturer in Vogue teaching at Stockholm College, says Alexander's own history has been key to receive shopping to plug out for the stickers coats, that at about 2,000 kroon, $247, 176 pounds, are expensive though by Nordic standards. While you include a more than quality mark, he's a lot more than essential to include a nice history, to include a nearly mythic dimension, she says. Thou could get a cloak for a tertiary of the cost sometime love HRNM, but Alexander has a actual lifetime story, how gives a story and a legacy to the mark. She adds how the key problem for the mark is to hold its worship next at a period while youthful human beings are more shunning mark customer loyalty. Alexander is now fair one of 10 owners of the industry, and he admits how it was hard to move off of the lug part-time yet creature the social person of the mark. In the middle period he hopes how the company will variety in shoes and some means, but he admits how the pressures of the job can get to him. He says his top mastering policy is to get convenience of a prayer established in him by his favorite grandpa. He ever told how in procedure to cherish the flavor of med you occasionally requirement to sip acetum.